We are back. It's been a long time. You know the deal. Slide around into the water. Oh, little fuzzy wuzzy. Cracker and smacker. Yeah. All right. Well, it's been a while. It is a holiday season. Merry Christmas, everybody. I work retail, so that kind of keeps me at bay from doing videos as much as I was. I'm going to continue doing them, of course, but, duty calls. And work has been hell. So, last time was part of the Halloween Spooktoberfest thing. Today I have something even better. Let's get into it, I guess. Slash, the evil Ninja Turtle, with his Psycho Psy in hand. This is mine from when I was a child. I actually had two. I remember at one point, I don't know what happened to the other one. I'm going to go through at some point and replace the belt and have one of the other weapons. And I have the card back here. It's not my card back from when I was a kid, but I acquired it from somewhere. And he's always been my favorite. Always stayed on the shelf, always been around with me. And to have two weapons still is something. He's great. He got them friggin' Grinch teeth, them summer teeth, some are here, some are there. One yellowish orange eye, though this one's kind of green, but it's supposed to be yellow. This is also from 1990, so you gotta imagine over the fucking years there, things happen. In the back, you may have noticed this too. This isn't the original Krang, or this isn't the vintage Krang, but I'll leave this in here as a little teaser as into what next episode will be. I'll try and do a little theme with this. But anyway, original Slash. At one point in time, Toys R Us did a repro line where they reproduced them. I always wanted the Slash on the card, couldn't get them. I got Krang in the robot suit, Foot Soldier, and then I bought two more Foot Soldiers because I fucking love that suit. It's so ridiculous. And there's still one on the card hanging over in the corner on the wall, which I'll bust that down and show you guys sometime. It is a reproduction, or one they did years later. It's not the vintage, it's not an original on card, so don't get crazy. But, it's fucking there. Not the Slash we saw in the cartoon. It's the other thing. The Slash we saw in the cartoon was a doofy, weird fuck with his fucking binky. It was like a little tropical fucking plant, palm tree or some bullshit. So I should have did some research of why we got this, but I'm glad we fucking did get this as original toy because it's still going on today. And he was such a cool fucking character that 2014, when Nickelodeon was doing their crazy ass one, we got their iteration of Slash. I didn't watch much of it. I do love that he has the fucking. Well, I don't know that they did it all green, but he has the green spikes and the purple stuff. Was he a doofus or something? Was he stupid when he fucking talked? I don't understand his story. Like I said, I didn't watch any of that shit. Or I did, but I collected more of those than I did watch the show because I've always continued watching Ninja Turtles. And always buying them if I could, if there's something worth buying. I have quite a few of the NECAs now. Not a lot, but, I have Super Shredder, the other version of Super Shredder. I have the Foot Soldier that came out during fucking Target's whatever con, NECA con bullshit, whatever nonsense with the cop hat. You'll see him soon. I'll bring him down and show him about. Why not? Anyway, I should have drank more water before I started this. But we're going to go on to NECA. This is from Turtles in Time. He is still Slash. He is slightly different from the original one. The original one, if you really look at him, he doesn't have like a neck. It's just back into fucking head. Just one fluid thing. It's almost like Gamera, if you really think about it. He does have a neck, but it's not at the top of his shoulders like you would like you would think it would be. It's coming out of the top of the chest almost more. But this is Turtles in Time. They did just give him you got a regular neck on him, and he's cool. Even though they video gamed him, and that's why there's some of that wacky, pixelization paint job. He is neat. I have seen when these first came out, guys were customizing them and painting them to look like the original Slash, and there's some really cool paint jobs out there. I thought about it, but I like him as is. It was neat to get him like a Slash again. That wasn't this. Not that I dislike him. He is weird because this is soft rubber, but the rest of his body is hard plastic. It's kind of weird. But I was pumped. As soon as I found out that fucker was coming out, I'm like, oh my god, Slash, I gotta get him. It's neat that they did it. Turtles in Time was always a game that I played. After the holidays, I did a little bit too much shopping for people and some shopping for myself. Which I'll show you one of the things at the end of this video that he's in the fucking timeout corner right now. But I'll show him to you guys. I wanted to do my review on him. I've been waiting to do this fucking review on him. I waited a goddamn almost a month for him to arrive in the mail, and then he finally gets here, and I'll explain the story when we show the little prick. So now these are going to be my 2 recent acquires within the last week, to be honest. One I knew about, but I was just like, doing model kits and shit, it's hard for me to spend money sometimes on certain things. A model kit, it's weird being a toy collector because there's some things that you fucking buy. There's no price tag you have to worry about. Model kits, I'm very diligent in what I do buy and build. I don't just build everything or anything. If I ever did like an in-depth view at my Gundam collection, you'd really see like I don't have the staples that everybody else does, and everybody needs to have this and the new Gundam, and I gotta have this. I'm not like that. I pick suits that I genuinely like. Which end up being more of the Xeon suits anyway, Zaku's and shit. So, spending on them, it depends, but I'm more likely to spend more on a model kit than an action figure, only because there's also the building of the model kit, and, you can paint it and stuff like that. I don't know, it's a weird fucking thing. But, oh my god. I guess you guys are in for a fucking treat. Since I'm going into my second. Look at that. Not even 9 minutes. 1 can of water gone. Gotta love that little foam on a Guinness. Ugh. Okay. So, anyway, the next thing I'm going to show you, ironically, I just found out they were fucking releasing them because I don't really keep up to date on this stuff as much as I used to. Or maybe I saw it and didn't know, I don't know. But I bought him yesterday, actually, as I was leaving work. And that is the Archie Comics / by NECA, which I must say, I open them now. What I try to do, they all have the Psycho Psy. Here's his. I tried getting the handout. It's very tight, and it's weird because I don't want to break these. And that's my biggest fear, is because you're pulling or twist, you're near that, and it's plastic, and it is what it is. I'm not going to mess with it. Same thing. I was going to kind of bend the arm up, but Sometimes at neck I have these things where the paint is a little funky there, and if I bend, like it's not moving, I'm applying a little bit of force. If I keep going, that arm is going to snap. So he's going to stay as is. That's all there is to it. I'm not going to do no blow drying or none crazy shit. If his arm is funky, his arm is funky. I'm going to move this in a little bit here, guys. Which, whatever. He is cool, though. I must say, and he's bulky, which I like. I really didn't get to scope him out. He has the classic shoulders. It's funny because they're originally purple, but his are more along the lines of the Turtle in Times one, if you look. They did his white, too. But if you look at the vintage, they are what the vintage one is, more or less. And he's pretty fucking... not necessarily spot on, but you know, they really did care to pay attention on him and respectively recreate him in a new way. I also like that they did him. I don't read the Archie comics. I don't know shit about what's going on in there. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and lie to you and do no research on it because I really don't give a fuck. I like that he's kind of more of a just turtle color, if you will. He's kind of in the lines of just like what you expect the regular turtles to look like, which is kind of cool. It gives it more. I mean, the purple, I love the purple and black. I think there's something about that made him stand out. But I liked him more than I did. I watched a review on him last night because I was like, I just want to check him out. And I walked into Hero's Hideout, or I watched a review on him a couple days ago when I found out he was coming out. And I walked into Hero's Hideout yesterday at our mall, which is a great store. If you guys have one around, check them out. They also get some great fucking anime voice actors. This is his Psycho Sai. Like I said, I was going to put it in his hand because I try to keep that theme there with those two, but I'm not risking snapping shit. I really ain't. I don't know how much I even fucking paid for him. I have the box here. $37 for a NECA toy. $37 for the NECA toy. And I'm not even going to bend his fucking arms. Think about it. Crazy. But I love him. So whatever. And this... I go to Hero's Hideout a lot because my buddy up here sent me a picture one of the days, like, there's a new toy store in the mall, and I'm like, oh, I gotta fucking check it out. So I went to go check it out, and it was Hero's Hideout, which I've never seen or heard of before. So I went in there, and they actually moved locations since then, and I actually like the new location more. If you've never been in one and they're all set the same, they're very weird when you walk in. This one has more in the middle now, but I'm sorry, that was just like liquid fell down from the ceiling. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was strange. The middle of the store was empty, and it was just the perimeter of the entire store was a wall of stuff. And it was all fucking toys. And I guess they're like a big thing with wrestlers. Like, they have a lot of wrestlers come there and do meet and greets and autographs and stuff like that. They do a lot of anime voice actors too. I met the guy who did Whis from Dragon Ball there, Ian. Tons of people have been there. I didn't get to meet the guy that did Cell. My buddy did get me an autograph for him. The other lady that does Goten. They are having somebody else in the spring. I'm not going to say anything about it. The one kid told me they have not posted about it on social media yet, but I'm fucking excited if this is true. Once they drop it on Facebook, I'll say who it is, but I'm pretty pumped. And I'll probably have to buy tickets. Usually I wait in line, but I don't see this being this is going to be a ticket buying one, so... Anyway, I sold a bunch of Funko Pops once because I do not collect Funko Pops anymore. I had a big collection I brought down like, I think I brought him like fucking 12 or something like that. And I got like $300. But what they do is if it's not a massive amount, they give you store credit. And I'm okay with that because I spend money there. And last Sunday, I brought down the rest of my pop finals, which I ended up finding out I have a Luffy that's like first release, first issue, the first Luffy they ever did from One Piece, who's worth fucking money. And apparently, the Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original release, is worth a lot of money. So much so that they put both of them in plastic cases for me for free and told me to go home and get them graded. So that might be something I'm looking into after this. I don't know. I don't buy Funko anymore. But anyway, that led to me having some money for the store. And I was very happy with it because before they were even done grading and telling me how much I was even fucking getting, I already had in my arms and in my hands what I was going to buy. Because I saw it a couple days prior when I was with my buddy, and I was like, oh man, I'd love to spend the money, but I'm not going to. It's Christmas. I fucking can't. And me getting rid of those, I bought all those Funko Pops at one time. I kept the ones I truly, truly like. That was kind of money to be selfish with, if you will, and spend it on myself. And I fucking did. And that led me to this one. The Super 7 Ultimates Slash. Which, by the way, I knew he was out. I didn't know they had him. I knew of him. I was going to order him, and I'm like, I don't know if I could spend fucking $60 or $50, whatever. Because I thought they were just like 5-inch guys. This guy is fucking huge. I don't know if you can really, really fucking tell. We'll do it this way. Before I even go into this guy, I'm gonna actually do a real in-depth review on because we're gonna look at them together. I kind of put some accessories on him, but I mean, this is him next to the vintage, and they're 3 3/4. Don't let anybody fucking tell you different. You don't think it. Hold on, real quick, I'll prove it. It's because they're bulky, the Ninja Turtles, that people always thought they were bigger. This is 3 3/4 Stormy. Regular vintage Stormtrooper. This is no... They're the same fucking height. These are 3 3/4 figures. The same size as a Star Wars guy. But they're big. They're bulky. So it's like an optical illusion. It creates more of... No, they're bigger than that. I've had this conversation with people before. And I had to fucking throw that one out there because it's always a funny thing to me when I tell people that, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, you really got to fucking check them out, man. That was it. And that was still in that phase. That's, end of the 80s going into the 90s. But the 2014 Slash is a little bit taller than the old one. Not by much. They did kind of stay in the 3 3/4 range, which is cool. Next to the NECA, put him foot by foot so it doesn't look like he's behind him. Make those toes touch. You can see, even from this fucking downward angle, you can see the size difference. So I'm going to move them out real quick. And I'll do it this way down the line. Just because that Archie's comic is a little bit taller. Or maybe he's not. It's hard to tell. So he's a sliver taller than him. Even though they're both NECA, he's a little bit bigger. He's bulkier and even then, this guy is just fucking... I mean, this is top of his head. I can fit my finger under there. Not big size difference between them, but even in the fucking bulk, I mean, he's heavy too, which is nice. You want sturdy. So let's just take a peek at him. Purple belt, which I believe was a variant, or black. You either got him in a black belt or a purple belt. One was a variant. I want to say it's a purple one. That's harder to find. Maybe it's a black one. I don't know. I did put the throwing blades on him. These little rubber pegs. I took them out of the thing and snapped them on. He has, I mean, just fucking look at this. He's great. And this is as accurate, almost as accurate to the original. I mean, even the fucking shell in the back, they really, really, really. I will give you the credit, Super 7, because I was not going to buy. It was hard for me to spend the money. But I didn't realize they were these big. When I saw them in person for the first time, I'm like, holy fuck. There is 2 slots for weapons there. Whatever ones you want to put in there, I guess, or if they can fit in there. Here's where it gets better. First I'm going to show you the box. Which Heroes Hideout presented these fucking great, because Heroes Hideout just had the box facing, so I'm like, oh my god, Slash is in there. So let's rearrange here a little bit. Put them in the background like we normally do. We'll get them all back there before I pull this over here. There's 2 things I really want to show with this. And first of all, presentation on the box, guys. I fucking round of applause to Super 7 because it's great. I'm going to scoot you over. The way they did it, first of all, they have that, the back, they have a little bit of information. Once you pull it off, Evil Turtle from Dimension X. I never do this shit. I'm not one of those guys. Unfortunately, Nickelodeon does have the fucking thing, the rights, whatever. Alternate head in there with the closed mouth instead of the open mouth, which is cool too. More like the Ninja Turtle head, which the Archie one has. He has more of the vintage Turtles had that weird fucking like middle of the lip closed, like a turtle, I guess would, if they had teeth. All of his weapons in there, of course, every one that the original came with, which we saw the purple vintage version of that behind us there. They had it presented as this, and I'm glad I realized that the slide was behind it, because I was going to just grab the box and buy. And when I grabbed the box, I saw the Slash head, and I'm like, oh, that's the slide for it. I'm going to make sure I grab that, because they probably would have just threw it away if I didn't get it. But this is my fucking favorite part. I don't remember experiencing this because I was a kid when I got these, and my parents were going for Christmas, birthdays, whatever bullshit. I didn't get to enjoy. I don't want to say I didn't get to enjoy it. I just didn't. I know of these things, but I don't remember doing these things. This, I didn't know was in there until I fucking opened it and saw it, and I was super ecstatic. Not only do you get his painted weapons, they give you the full fucking, all the weapons on the old runner in the fucking vintage purplish pink, which if you hold it up to, I know this one's a little bit older, so I mean, they got that exact fucking color. And this is how they used to come on like a model kit on the fucking runner. Boop, 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 cut them off. And how can you not fucking, I mean, the border is a bunch of pieces of wood tied together. I'm going to find a way to display this. I can make a little stand for it, I think. And that's probably how he's going to be displayed, to be honest with you. Although, realistically, I could just stand it up next to him like that. I'm not going to. It's probably going to fall over from a couple bangs on the bookshelf. But, I mean, shit. 2 of these Slashes I've acquired within the past 7 days, which is these 2. Oh, shit, stuff's falling. Whatever. Let's bring them all out here. Let's bring them all out. I think, and I always said that I wanted to, maybe not in the videos, but the only thing I will point out this I'm not the biggest fan of, and I'm not getting nitpicky, is there a little bit of the fucking paint on the eye is like outside. But that is such a minimal thing. I don't dislike anything about them. I am not happy with the paint on this and not being able to pop out the hands. And I have tried. Before I shot this, I kind of prepped everything. I tried putting in the hand to hold his weapon because I want to go with that flow. 3 of the 4 have it. And I'm like, but even after kind of being very forceful, I could not pop that out, and I was getting nervous about those. So whatever, it's not a big deal. If he stays like that, he stays like that. He posed well, he'll stay in that pose, and that's fine with me. I don't need to mess around with it. I don't want to fucking break it. I'm not going to be gluing shit and all that nonsense. I think this is a good spread, but at some point I would love to get a tattoo of just the vintage Slash. Like, if I can find somebody that will do a really good job at it, I think that'd be a cool thing to fucking get. The only other Slash thing that I want to get is, which you can see him in the bottom here behind them. Let me move him out of the way. Loyal Subjects does a bunch of lines. I have the Skeletor in the bottom corner, Shredder, Foot Soldier from the movie. They actually do a Slash. I believe it was a 2-pack with Leatherhead or whatever the gator. But people sell them individually on eBay. And I'll hunt down whatever else there is Slash-wise. So far, this is my collection. It's almost complete. I don't know, other than Loyal Subjects, what else I need. If there's more shit, I'll get it. I'm not going to buy the cartoon one. I'm not going to consider that a part. He is Slash by name, but he is not Slash by nature. So he is not going to be a part of this. He's a part of it because he is more along the lines of this to me than what Slash was originally in the cartoon. Plus, he has like just the fucking metal robot eye. Stupid. It's just fucking stupid. Considering the fact that he was a regular turtle. When he dumps a shit on him and he just fucking grows to have a metal robot eye. Makes no fucking sense. Which you can kind of tell that maybe they threw some direction in. I'll have to do research to find out why and how Slash is. That he does have the one bigger eye. Because I believe in the cartoon that was the robot eye. So maybe they said like he has a funky eye. And they're like, okay, well, we'll make it bigger. If you do notice, in this one, it's there, but it's barely there. Compared to these, where it's like almost closed compared to how open that one is. These are so fucking on par. Just staring at these now, like in front of each other, it's kind of crazy. They did him a lot of justice. I will never not that I badmouth it, but I will never second guess spending money on a Super 7 Ultimate from this point on, because they really fucking impressed me with this. It's like being a kid again. It's almost emotional in a way, as stupid as that sounds, because how I'm feeling about this now is probably how I felt about when I got Slash as a kid. Just thinking like, this is cool. And I always had, I had the Turtles, but you always had more villain toys than heroes because the villains were fucking cooler. That's all there was to it. For any toy line. Name one that the hero is the fucking absolute coolest. Just find one. If you can find one, drop it in the fucking comments for me, please. Just one. Where the hero there's not a villain cooler in design than the hero. Not one. Not one villain. They all suck compared to the hero. Just find me one fucking show. Or comic book or anything. Marvel, a ton of the villains are cooler than the heroes. DC, same. Ultraman, ton of the fucking Godzilla. Most of almost every bad guy that Godzilla fights is cooler than fucking Godzilla. That's not even Gamera, Iris, fucking same thing. There's nothing I could think about. Transformers, all cooler. Master Universe, way cool. Skeletor is cooler than He-Man on a fucking He-Man's best fucking day. Star Wars, all cooler. Darth Vader, Stormtroopers, Boba Fett, all fucking cool. Dragon Ball Z, Frieza, Cell, all cool. Transformers, you got Megatron, Soundwave, they're all fucking cool. Even fucking Zelda, Ganon. Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf is the coolest. There's none. There's nothing I can think of down here where I was like, where I have more of the hero than the villain. I have a lot of RX-78s from Gundam, but a lot, but that doesn't even come close to what my Zaku collection is. Not at all. I'm just knocking shit over. Whatever. Anyway, here's Lady Death. She's going to come into this. Thanos' little bitch. And we're going to see what we all want to see. I got 2 things left to show. One is our boy, Glizzy Swatch. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them, because all it takes is one. One to hold that Glizz Gloss. Who's it going to be, baby? Who is it going to be? By the way, what you're seeing now is, this is me from the, I don't want to say the future. All I'm going to say is this is the thumbnail for this video. So I already know. Maybe it is the future. I know before you do. And you're going to see that and then hear me saying this and go, holy shit. This moment, right now, where we are, this plateau that we're upon, became the picture I stared at to make me want to watch this fucking video. So yeah, anyway, Glizzy Swatch. Let's fucking smack it up here. We're gonna pop the glizz out of the bun. I think it's only fair. We're gonna go for vintage. Can vintage slash hold a hot dog? I keep forgetting that their hands weren't fucking jointed that way. Their arms are, though. They're great. I mean, listen, fucking top of the line articulation back then. The shit was fucking mind blowing. You don't even fucking know, because you probably weren't there. Most of you watching this are fucking, well, he's not holding it. It just fell right out. Well, that's kind of what happens when you eat a hot dog, right? You eat the hot dog, you swallow it whole, flies right out your fucking asshole like that, like a bullet train. Luckily it doesn't smash the fucking porcelain. So vintage is down. He can't hang, as they say. Let me move these over a little bit. I'll be knocking stuff around. We're gonna get big boy into this. Like I said, I opened these 2 right before this video. So I kind of had a moment with myself where I got to open them and take them out and stuff. But I didn't really check them out because I wanted to get like right into this video. Come on, Slash. You can do it, bud. Hold that fucking dog. He's holding it. Good enough. Angry fucking turtle from Dimension X holding a hot dog. I mean, what more can you want in this fucking world? Nothing. And if you do, you're greedy. You need to stop it. Cut it out. Let others enjoy. So for this next one, I'm going to move the camera. I have to. I'm not even going to fucking touch this goddamn thing because I'm so pissed off. There was a point today. I'll explain the story. Because I'm going to say there was a point today where I stared at this thing dead in the face and I was going to fucking punch it. Full force. And I knew if I punched it, it was game over. This thing would have fucking shattered. And I had to fucking collect myself. But I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do this because he's at the other end. It's going to be an awkward thing, but it is what it is. So I do have Grail pieces. And like I said, they're not necessarily rare stuff. It's just things that I really, really want. Some of them do happen to become harder to come across. Especially this. This is a model kit from 1983. I was lucky that they did some reissues for it. Pretty much why I was able to get it. And I did. I'm gonna finish this water here. But there's stuff all over from the other videos. It's crazy. There's bits and pieces of him. That is the 172 Zaku, which back then they called no scales or whatever. 1983 Coraline is holding up his arm on the shield here because when I went to twist the arm this morning up, it decided to snap off completely. Also, every fucking piece on this model kit I had to glue together. So the arm snapped, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to glue it back in at a static pose and be done with it. He's not leaving this table. These little bits and pieces that you see down here are peg pieces, because that display diagram in the background, diagram, whatever, it's a peg that goes to the back, and then it's a little lock that slides up and locks in, even though you still have to glue it, because why not? So he's on my fucking naughty list, because I glued that arm fucking 5 separate times so far. Super glue, Tamaya fucking, actually the bottle's sitting right next to it. My fucking Tamaya extra thin cement. Maybe I need to do the Tamaya thick. This shit melts that plastic down and essentially fuses it into one. So if you look at a lot of master builders, like you can see the seam lines here. It's not even a master builder thing, but I'll tell you the trick. You glue it together and then you run that down the top of it over those seam lines. After it's already glued, glue what your pieces are. Don't glue moving pieces. Like, I didn't glue a moving piece, but when it set last night, some of that glue must have got onto a moving piece and set it into one. So as soon as I turned that arm, it snapped off because it was a solid piece of plastic. You could put that over those seam lines, let it dry, sand it, and most times when you sand that shit down with the glue and the plastic mixed together, from what I've seen results-wise, solid piece of plastic. Gets rid of your seam lines and makes it seem like it's one coherent thing. Of course, then you could fucking sand it out to where you want to, buff it up a little bit, prime it, paint it. But yeah, I've been dying to get this fucking thing. I got him, and then that arm broke. So I was fucking pissed. This is what I was actually waiting. It's why I haven't made a video in quite some time, is because I waited about 3 weeks for him to get here. And that was a big thing. I was going to live build this fucking thing. I was so excited to get it. I'm glad I didn't, because to sit there and glue that, it took me fucking 2 days, really. I got it yesterday when I got to work. I started on it, and I worked on it all fucking morning. So I put a couple hours into him. But yeah, he's a fucking cock. But I'm happy I got him. I bought the one, that's the 172. I actually ended up buying the 160 vintage Zaku to the green. This is Char's, of course, which is my favorite Zaku. But yeah, so there's that. This will probably, depending, my room is fucked up right now because I did empty my storage unit in it. I'd love to show you guys behind me how bad it is, but I'm not going to, because why am I going to show you how bad it is? This is probably going to be the last time that you see this as the background. I don't know. Looking at it, it's kind of cool because it is toys, but I bought a picture that I'm going. I'll try it out in one video, and we'll see how we feel. If we fucking, if we feel like we like it a lot, it's gonna be the new background piece. The toys will be here. Just this will be different. But at the same time, it's tough. You guys don't really get to see what I see all the time as I'm sitting. It's like, this is just, there's model kits up there, and you have the NECA boxes, and there's shit floating around on them, which I could do away with those and put a shelf up there, to be honest. Window, but it's neat. I'll show you kind of my view of stuff real quick. That's my new setup. I moved the other thing. I'll have to show you guys that. But that's the kaiju shelf there. You have the bookshelf. There is, we're doing the tripod right in the way. There is that shelf that has the Kubrick Star Wars. That's my Master Universe stuff, model kits. That's my lamp, double tip. And that's the Curio of Curiosities. Model kit pieces, Gamera, snow globes. There's all kind of shit going on down here. But that fucking vintage ass motherfucking paint at that. I'll show you guys that sometime. Anyway, we're going to the 40-minute mark. I think it's time for you guys to go to bed. It's like the end of Ferris Bueller, you know what I mean? When he's like, what are you still doing here? It's fucking over. Go home. That's where we're at. Go fucking wipe your ass or something. Touch your girlfriend's nipples with your tongue. Do something. It's Saturday night. Again, go out. Punch a fucking stranger. Because why not? They're a stranger. They don't know who the fuck you are. And you're going to get away with it. As long as you're able to run very fast. So go cause a little chaos in the world. Nothing too crazy. Nothing deadly. But, you know, it's the holiday season. So, fuck you, the captain. I will be back as soon as I can with you guys. It's probably going to be after Christmas. I hate that I've been so fucking... It's been long between my videos, but it is what it is. So, catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you, and good night.